Coronavirus is coming for that ass if you don't wash your hands.
Man.
That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown. That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown.
Let's go.
You dancing, they can't control you. Your skin is not only dark.
That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown.
You dancing, they can't control you. Your skin is not only dark. Pose like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for that pretty dark skin.
What is good? What is up, royals? It is your girl Queen Versachi, and welcome back to my channel. I was sick for like a long time, and then school hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm taking 7 classes, guys. I don't know why that's allowed, but whatever. Before I get into the topic of this video, I just want you guys to make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so that your notifications are gonna stay on for all of my posts, because YouTube doesn't always notify everybody if you don't press that notification bell. So do that. So basically, we're just gonna get right into it. Corona is coming for you. Y'all dirty, y'all musty, y'all dusty, and like it's become like why is it considered like now you need to start washing your hands? Like, why weren't you washing your hands before? If you're someone who like habitually practices good hygiene and you don't have a compromised immune system, like if you don't have sickle cell or something like that, and you're not an infant and you're not old, you should be fine. Like, even if you did contract it, God forbid, you would usually be able to fend it off. This is just based on research that I've done, based on what I've heard who say, as in like World Health Organization, not like, no, anyways, you should honestly be fine. Like this whole like the world's gonna end, you need to calm down. It's not like that. Like, it's really not like that. I wanted to like literally look at this picture. My mom sent it to me and she's like, relax yourself. We have had so many different waves in history of things that were a lot worse than Corona. But the thing is, Corona was a pandemic, and like take a look at like SARS was bad. This isn't like the Black Plague or like the Black Death, and like it's not even like Ebola. Like the difference between something like Ebola and something like coronavirus is that if you contracted Ebola, you're basically as good as dead. And I know that sounds really bad, but it's not something that like our bodies were really able to fend off. I'm pretty sure in almost every case. If you did contract corona, like I said, you would be able to fend it off without a compromised immune system, and you're of like youngish middle age, like you would be fine. All this like hype and scare, it is really scary how it has spread so fast, and like everything that we know and love is like canceled. The NHL, the NBA, and like in Ontario, I'm from Ontario, Canada, and like schools are closing. Public and secondary schools have already decided to do e-classes, like online classes, and like universities are following suit and colleges are following suit as well. So it can seem, because of how everyone is like, they're doing the most. Okay, tell me why hand sanitizer is being sold for around $80 on Amazon. You're doing too much. Tell me why people are literally lining up the whole side of the store at Superstore in my city. You're doing too much. Like, Clorox sold out, toilet paper sold out. Like, the hell you need toilet paper for? That's what I don't get. Like, are you using toilet paper to like wipe down your counter? I don't get it. I get like Bounty, Clorox, all those things, but I don't get buying it in bulk the way people are doing. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, relax. But the toilet paper thing, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you eating so much you're shitting in excess? That's why you're scared. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's just annoying. It's literally just the hype of the media. Everyone likes to make, I see TikToks about Corona, like, it's Corona time. That one song that's just everywhere. Just be clean. Don't be a dirty bitch. Just don't be dirty. Wash your hands. I have hand sanitizers stocked up in my house, but like not because I've been buying it at the $80 price. Are you dumb? I just have it, like, because normal people usually or should have like a hand sanitizer in their backpack or in their purse or at their house. And like, wash your hands and stop touching your face. So many people like to, I see them touching, I see people picking their nose, and I'm like, that is one thing that will disturb me for so long, when grown people pick their nose and eat it. Don't do that. Don't pick your nose. Like, I I shouldn't have to say that. Like, I'm cringing. I hate it. I hate it. And people like touch their face, touch their mouth, and like just avoid that. Just avoid it. Like, obviously there are times where you need to, but just avoid it. You don't need to be putting your hands everywhere. Just like little precautions. And like, everybody's getting all mad that the NBA is canceled, and like LeBron was like, oh, people were saying LeBron was supposed to win his 4th ring this year. First of all, that wasn't set in stone. I'm not a big LeBron fan, but like, roast me in the comments, I don't care. But like, he is great, and I mean, like, it is sad that even if he was going to win, he won't be able to now. But like, get over it. It's literally for your health. Like, it just came out, Tom Hanks and his wife Rita tested positive for COVID-19. Our prime minister's wife has tested positive for it. Like, world leaders are being infected. It is literally for your safety. People are popping up with cases and they don't know where it's from. That is what it means to be a pandemic, when there are people who have contracted it and there is an unknown source.
The exact definition varies within organization to organization, but in general, if a virus begins to spread across international borders and around the world, only then is it considered a pandemic. But it actually isn't that simple. If you contracted COVID-19 in China, but then went home to America and spread it to someone there, that doesn't count as crossing international borders. It becomes a pandemic when people start to get infected by people who have no traces to the infected countries or the initial epidemic center. An example of this is community spread, when someone gets the disease but the source of the infection is unknown.
Because your precious hockey game, you won't be able to go and you were refunded your ticket, cry me a bucket of water. Let's talk about one thing that really pisses me off. The racism around this whole coronavirus thing is a mess, and it's so disgusting. It's not tolerable. Like, don't be that person. I see Asians on the bus, I see Asians at school, just in public, who are getting ripped on. I see it online, getting ripped on because they're Asian. Like, oh, this is your fault because you couldn't help yourself and you wanted to eat some bat soup. These are like Canadian Chinese people and other Asians who aren't even Chinese, because you stupid people can't even decipher who is who. But when someone doesn't even look Chinese at all, you're just roasting them. And even if they were Chinese, like, you don't treat people like that. Whether they're Canadian born, whether they're anywhere, it's not their fault. Like, people, I'm talking about people here, obviously in Wuhan, China, I understand the frustration, but I'll get to the frustration aspect of it later. You don't treat people that way just because of where they come from. That's disgusting, that's bigotry, that's ignorance, and that's racism. Like, that's literally just racism. I remember that when Ebola was a huge thing, and I went to a predominantly white, predominantly racist high school, which I've talked about a little bit on my channel. And when Ebola was a thing, and because Ebola was pretty serious in Nigeria, other places in Africa, obviously here too, but like, it was pretty bad in Nigeria, but we were able to quarantine and eradicate completely in like less than a month. So what's good? They don't call us the African giant for nothing. But I remember getting so much like trash, so much garbage, so much hell just because I was Nigerian. Even my music teacher came for my neck because I was Nigerian. All of this, like, don't, like, I sneezed once and like, because my name is Achi, he'd be like, Achu, don't give us Ebola. And I'm just like, first of all, you're calling me Achu, don't call me out of my name, sir. And like, also, don't speak to me like that just because of my heritage, because of my race and ethnicity and my nationality. That's what you're not gonna do. That's what you're not gonna do. And like, I had no problem standing up to him, but like, getting it was very microaggression from a lot of people who didn't want to directly say, you're sick, don't give me Ebola because you're black, basically. And so I can definitely empathize with the people, the Asians who are getting a lot of it here because of the poor choices of the people who live in Wuhan. Now that I have addressed why the racism obviously is not okay, I have to say, like, I have to play devil's advocate a little bit because I do understand the frustration. I do, and I 100% get it. I understand why people are frustrated. I understand why people are upset because China, a lot of our things come from China. That's one. Two, China has also been responsible for another major epidemic or pandemic. I'm not sure if SARS was an epidemic or a pandemic. It was responsible for that as well. And three, Corona has, even though it is not, I don't want to say not that serious, it's serious, but it's not that serious. I'll just say that. Even though it is like present, it and it's not that serious, it has affected people in a greater way than something like Ebola has. Like, Trump has banned travel to and from Europe from the States, I believe. US citizens cannot travel back to the States unless they have gone through certain screening, which is, like, I'm glad he's doing something about it. But, like I said, the NBA is canceled, the NHL is canceled. Pretty sure if the NFL was still going on, it would have been canceled too. People are saying the Olympics is probably going to be canceled. Harvard has given their students 5 days to get out, which is terrible because a lot of people don't have places to go. Like, it's affecting people's lives in a way that they can't control. Whereas Ebola didn't affect the everyday person, but a lot of everyday people like me are being affected by Corona, because I'm probably, after my March break, which is next week, I'm probably going to have online classes for the rest of the semester. Our school emailed us just like an hour ago. And so, like, I do understand the frustration. A lot of people's lives have been altered, but that does not justify the racism. It just doesn't. There's nothing that can justify it. In conclusion, what I'm trying to say is, wash your hands. All you really got to do is wash your hands on a regular basis. Don't be dirty. Don't be dirty. Like, just, if you guys have been practicing good hygiene your whole lives, it's flu season anyway. You should be extra cautious of that. I literally had just fallen sick, and it's not because I don't practice good hygiene. It's because I wasn't sleeping at night because of things like school and like being distracted, and like, it really, when you don't sleep, your immune system is obviously compromised, and this is the worst time for that. And so I had the flu, and it was really, really bad. But I'm fine now. Like, I took antibiotics and I'm fine. But like, you should be practicing like good hygiene even more anyway during this time if you live in a place where it's cold and it's flu season. But even if you don't, you should just make sure you're always washing your hands. Make sure you're doing those little things. Don't use your hand directly to open public washrooms. Like, I always do like this, like when I have to press those things on the side of the street, when I open doors, where I take a paper towel that I dried my hands with after I wash my hands to open the door, then I throw it out. You use your elbow as much as possible to push doors. You don't use your hands. I don't drink from public fountains. I've never my whole life drunk tap water. I don't do it. That's gross. Like, I don't. I think they should all be closed right now. But like, it's just a matter of safety. Like, people just want to be crying for no reason. Anyways, just be hygienic and don't like buy into this narrative, because it is so easy to be scared, and it is so easy to buy into this mentality that we're all gonna die. We're just not going to die. There are a lot scarier things to be worried about in this world that are going on today than coronavirus. Just make sure that you take care of yourself, take care of your spirit, do some self-care, meditate on the word of God. Just be precautious, okay? It's better to be precautious and to be proactive than to be reactive. So that's all I really wanted to say, guys. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and that's it. I hope you guys have a safe and healthy rest of the week, and Queen Versachi is out. Bye.